Now, this is what we have after we chose the 25 to 44. So you can now see that we are only targeting those between the age of 25 to 44. And the top cities that we can actually target this audience are in Accra, Kumasi, all the way to even the top pages that they are following, right? So remember when we did the research over here, we were told that these audience are actually in Accra, Kumasi, and I think Eastern region and then Central region, including Northern region. So how do we bring them here, right? So this depends on you. If you want to target those in Accra specifically, then you can target those in Accra. If you want to target those specifically in a specific neighborhood, then we can target people specifically in a specific neighborhood. So for instance, let's say if you want to target East Legon, you can type East Legon. So you need to also be very careful when you're typing this neighborhood, because sometimes it will be bringing other jurisdiction. So let's say if you have East Legon, we don't have East Legon here, right? So then we can't go with it. Let's look for airport. Okay. So this might not be here, but we can also target it using the ad manager itself. The ad manager is where we run the ad itself. This is where you're targeting your audience. So over here, we can actually choose, let's say, Accra, Greater Accra region, right? Okay. Or, so you can see when you choose Accra, we can see the top cities that we can easily target. Or if you want to target the whole of Ghana, so you can just type Ghana and you see. There are instances where you can actually target based on other regions. So you can type something like Western region. Surprising, it doesn't. Okay, so we have it here. We have Boso Western region, the Siama Western region, and so forth and so forth. But usually, I would recommend that you choose either Accra if your business is really centered in Accra. Unless you want to target other areas, you can go with Ghana as a whole. Or you can, because if you try to select all the regions, specific regions in Ghana, sometimes you don't find all of them. So we have other here, but you'll be surprised you don't find other regions that we have. So usually either I go with Ghana or Accra. Or let's say if I want to target Kumasi, I'll target specifically Kumasi. If you're targeting Eastern region, you can type Eastern region. Let's see if you can find it. Eastern region. Yeah, we have it over here as well. Yeah, but this also depends on the research that you did. If you did the research, you realize that even though you are at Northern region, but your clients are actually in Accra, then that means you have to target those in Accra, not those in Northern region. And that makes sense. Now, after you are done with this, let's choose Accra. And I'm going to choose this one, which is Accra, Greater Accra region. Now, after you are done with that, you now come to create audience, right? So let's do that. I'm going to click on create audience. I'm going to give it a name as, let's say, test. I'm going to give it that name, so test. So this will be the name that is going to appear in your, that is your Meta Ad Manager when you're running your advertisement to choose a client. So then I'm going to go to now click on see your audience in Ads Manager, because that's where you're going to run your advertisement. Ads Manager, and this is the desktop version, right? The mobile version looks like this. So this is the Ad Manager, the phone version. Usually the image, recently they have changed the image, but it used to be like this. Now it has changed a bit. So let's set for Ad Manager new logo. I'm still not really out here. Yes, this is it. So you can actually see the new logo here. This is how it looks like. So this is now the Ad Manager. See, it looks a bit the same. So there's the Ad Manager now, which you can download onto your phone and run your advertisements on. So now when you come to the Ad Manager on the desktop version, you now see we have the audience here called test. We have primary Airbnb audience. So that means we've run an ad for an Airbnb, and we also have one for Credit Proven Network, right? So over here, this is where our audience are. And you can click on the test. When you click on the test, you can further go down and narrow it down. So you see over here, we have about estimated size of 822,300, right? And it goes all the way to this interest. Now you can click on actions, and what you can do here is that you can edit it by telling the system that I'm interested in males and females who have interest in real estate investment trust or private property who lives in Accra in an area or a neighborhood called East Legon, right? And is from a rich or from affluent neighborhood. All these can be done. So you can actually narrow it down. So you don't have to target, because listen to this, not every private property investor or any private property owner would be interested in buying a water closet, or who is actually in Accra will be interested in that. That means that even within the commercial property audience data, there are people who will buy and people who wouldn't buy. There will be people who would show interest and wouldn't buy. So all these are things that you need to keep asking yourself. So you will click on it and then come to actions, and then come to edit. And when you come to edit, you now have to tap on use advantage plus audience. What this does is that it gives the system to actually move around the location that you've chosen, and doesn't limit you to specific placement. So let's say if you run the ad, let's say on Facebook and Instagram, and you choose the placement where it should be running to be Facebook and Instagram, it will be running strictly on Facebook and Instagram. However, if you give it the use advantage plus audience, what this happens is that you can actually go beyond these areas, find where these clients are, and then get you the right people. All right, so that is something that you should pay attention. So I'm going to tap on use advantage plus audience, and then once I'm done with that, you can now come here and change the minimum age, because the minimum age that we had was 25. Now after you are done with that, we now can actually come to this side called narrow audience. So over here as narrow audience, we can narrow it down based on their purchasing power, based on the device that they use, based on their interest again, to even further reduce it. All right, so that's what you can do. So let's say if you want to further reduce it, we can actually go to let's say iOS. So and then realize that those who are using iOS are likely to be interested in it. So we can go with iOS. And look at it, when we even selected the iOS and type the iOS, that means those who are using iPhone. So you will see when I hover on it, you still see additional interest iOS operating system, or people who have expressed an interest or in or like pages related to iOS. Now in this case, you're not just targeting those who are interested in iOS, but those who are really using iOS and are having interest in this. So we go with this first one, right? Okay, let's click on that. So we now have those using iOS as the operating system, right? Right. Okay. So this actually further goes to say people who have expressed interest in or like pages related to iOS. We consider these people who are having money, who would want to spend more, than maybe Android users. This is subjective. It's not, those who are using Android might also be. In fact, the purchasing power based on device wasn't just iOS, we also had Android. So we can also search Android as well. And then we can choose the Android operating system. Because this both, so what we are saying here is that we are looking for both males and females who are interested in any of these and they use this device. Right? You can further go and narrow it down. After you're okay with it, you can click on what? So it even says reach more people likely to respond to your ads. So we can click this as well. And then we can click on update. So now we are updating the text, and this could be very good thing. You can even sell to people who are running businesses who are not able to target the right people. Okay, it can become a side job that you can do. Now to run a paid advertisement, what you are going to do is that you now go to the social media page of the client. So let's say, I'm going to switch back, let's use Credit Premier Network. Okay, so on the page that you have where you posted your product, you are now going to click on, and I want you to pay attention here very well, because this is where everything matters. You are going to click on the post that you want to promote. Let's say you want to promote it, so you're going to click on boost post, and now this interface is going to show you the same thing that you're going to see on your phone as well. Now when this comes, what you need to do is to first check the goal. What is the goal of your advertisement? Is it to automatically get people to message you? Is it to, so let's check the goal here. We have the automatic, which let Meta, Meta select the most relevant goal based on your activity. So here you're just trying to tell Meta that, okay, choose whatever that you want. People can message me, people can just click on to learn more. We don't want that. We want people to message us directly. So if you want more people to get in touch with that, then we are going to click on something like get more leads. Okay, we are going to click on get more leads. Now when we click on get more leads and you have actually added WhatsApp to your page, now the reason why mine is showing error here is that our WhatsApp has unfortunately been suspended, restricted as it stands now. So we don't have WhatsApp here. So let me switch to a different page, right? I'm going to switch to a different page to show you how this works. So I'm going to use Atom Heights Apartment, and now instead of me to use the test interest, I'm going to use the Airbnb audience, because this is also an audience that we have already used. Okay, so you see how this is going to work in motion. So let's go to the main page again, and now over here I'm going to click on one of them, any of the posts here. So I'm going to click on, let's say, this boost post, and now you can see still it's actually here the automatic. So we have to decide the kind of goal we want. What do we need? So we are going to select get more messages. Now you see, because WhatsApp is integrated, we see get more messages here. We also have get more leads. I always recommend, if you're running one now, you want people to WhatsApp you go for the get more messages. If you want Facebook or Meta to choose based on what they feel is good for you, go with automatic. If you want to get more engagement, people to like, comment, share, you go with get more engagement. If you want to get more leads, that is specifically for sales, you go for more leads. Now the difference here is that when you go for get more leads, here the idea here is that you want Facebook to look at your advertising based on pages only. And this really doesn't work for WhatsApp, because you can't really tell how many people have WhatsApp to you and how many people haven't WhatsApp to you. So you need to have something called like a puzzle tracker to be able to determine when someone actually make a purchase. It's very difficult to track who made a purchase and who didn't make a purchase on WhatsApp. So always go with this, right? And also, if you want to get more calls, you go with this. If you want people to WhatsApp you, go to your website, then you go to get more website visitors. So we are going to go with get more messages over here and click on save. Now once you go with that, okay, right, so now once you go with that, we are going to allow this one to be on. Okay, we're not going to change anything. So look at what we have here. It says send message, and this one is Messenger. However, we don't want it to go to Messenger, we want it to go to WhatsApp. And here it's telling us that we want to choose the automatic destination for us. We don't want that. We don't want Meta to choose whether it should go on Instagram or Facebook or WhatsApp. We want to determine where it should go. So we are going to tap on this, and then we are going to turn this off and take Messenger, because we want it to run on WhatsApp and Instagram at the same time, not just not Messenger, right? So now you can see it has changed to what? WhatsApp. And now, thank God, you can actually add multiple numbers here to it. So you can see right now we have only one WhatsApp attached to it. So you can connect up to, I think, about 11 or 12 or so WhatsApp numbers here. And then over here, these are predefined messages. So let me show you what this means. When you click on edit, you see these are predefined messages where clients can just click on it on WhatsApp and send it to you. So if you want them to send specific message to you without them typing it, then you can easily do that by configuring a message here. So you can just change this to something like, how much is it? So look at this over here, you can still see how much is it over here, right? So when the client comes in, they'll just tap on this and they will send you the message. Now over here on Instagram, so you see how much is it, they can just send to you on WhatsApp, or they can type even their own message. However, we don't want any message like that, because sometimes when you have these messages here, what happens is that those that are not even going to buy, when they click on your ad and they see a message here, they abuse it. And don't forget, every click is going to cost you money. So we don't want to have a predefined messages here for now. We want them to type. We want to feel that these are real people typing a message to us. But if you also have automated message, where there's a WhatsApp automated message, which I've already said, if you want one for yourself, you can easily contact us. You don't have time to respond to messages. You can create this predefined messages here. So when they send a message, the WhatsApp chatbot would actually respond to it. So when they send how much is it, your system will be configured to respond to how much is it without you responding to it. We don't want this, so we're going to clear it here. And you can actually modify this a bit by saying hi and then the name is here. When you click on this plus sign, you'll be able to determine whether the first name should come, the last name should be placed here. When I put the cursor here right now and I tap on this, I can choose the full name being at the end of it. So it will be like hi. So you see hi actually here. Hi Ebenezer, please let us know how we can help you, Ebenezer. It doesn't make sense. So let's clear this one off. So you can actually come here and change this, put the cursor here, and then just put what you want it to be here, or you can even modify the message entirely, right? Okay. So after we are done with this, mostly I'm likely to put a name here. It helps you to customize it. So let's put the first name here. And I'm going to say, please let us know how we can help you. That's enough, right? It's enough. We're going to click on save. Now, look at it here. It's still here, right? So usually you have to do it twice to remove it again before to remove and click on save. So now it's gone. And then over here, we can click on, okay, so over here, click on Airbnb. So now you see we have the test primary Airbnb audience. This is because this Atom Height, this business page is actually under Credit Premier Network. So any audience that we are going to build under Credit Premier Network is going to reflect here. That's why we are seeing the test, we are seeing the primary, we are seeing the Airbnb. And this one is for the Airbnb. So you're going to choose the Airbnb. So you don't have to start over again doing the audience and all of that. No, it's already defined over here. So once you select that, all you have to do is that you're just going to set the price. And this one should be turned off. Run this during business hours. So if your business hours from Monday to maybe Wednesday, it's going to run on Monday to Wednesday. This is not ideal. So we are going to turn this one off. We are going to set the duration to, let's say, 30 days, which is 1 month. If you want it to run forever, then you can actually set it to run forever. That's what it means. If you want to choose a specific day, choose a specific day here. And we are going to choose maybe the budget, which is $10, right? Now, once we choose the $10, here we are not going to choose the budget sharing. I'm not going to talk more about it, but always turn this one off for now, right? It's good, but we are not going to take this as an approach for this section. And then you are going to keep the Advantage Plus placement over here, which was what I was talking about, that it helps maximize your advertisement, not only specific to, just Facebook, that is Instagram and WhatsApp, but it helps to also go beyond the WhatsApp and the Instagram, especially if you're not getting sales. That's what happens there. And then once you're done with that, all you've got to do is to click on publish. Click on publish and you are good to go. Now when you click on publish and you're good to go, there's just a little thing you just have to do, and all that you've got to do is to go to the Meta Ad Manager, come to the campaign that you're running, and then you just have to, you see over here, when you run the ad, it says Advantage Plus Audience, right? So usually, when you run the ad, even though you select Advantage Plus Audience, Meta is still going to go ahead and choose specific pages for like Facebook status or story, and Facebook feed, marketplace, and so forth and so forth. But maybe those ones are kind of limited because you are specific to those areas only. It's going to be running in those areas. But we wanted to run beyond that. We wanted to run beyond that by running on other networks of what? Meta. So we want to always activate this. So usually when you set the ad, it's going to turn back to the default mode and you have to turn it on. And you can easily do those changes in Meta by coming here and clicking on, let's say, edit. You see the ad that you're running here. And when you click on edit, and it loads, what you have to do is to click on that is this one. Okay, you see this small boxes here. Click on that. Once you click on that, you'll be able to change that to this particular, that is what's the name? So that's the Advantage Plus placements, right? Yeah. So you just have to scroll until you see. So let me see if I can find it here. Okay. Let me see if I can find it over here. So actually it's already on Advantage Plus because I've already set it. So I think it's not reflecting here, but usually you would still be able to see it here and make changes to it over here. So it's not reflecting here. It's quite surprised, but usually it's supposed to be here. You would actually see the advantage and then you select it. If you don't see it, you have to just log in back to your Meta Ad Manager on your phone and then look for the Advantage Plus, that is the placement, and then you change the placement. Okay, that's what it is, because this has already been set, so I don't think they're going to show it to us. Usually you see it here though, but I'm not seeing it here. So this is what you have to do to run a profitable ad advertisement for yourself, for the skills that you have that you want to sell it out to people. Okay, for the services that you render. You don't have to run advertisement just by clicking on boost post on Facebook and then you expect sales to come in. It doesn't work like that at all. So this is what I'm going to leave you with. Always perform your research. Once you've performed the research, go ahead and use the Meta Audience tool to be able to understand your audience very well, the age group, before you go ahead and click on boost post. Other than that, you are going to leave money on the table. I believe this is helpful and you're going to make use of it. And trust me, when you make use of it, you're going to see proper results from your advertisement. Whenever you run an ad and it doesn't work well, look at the metrics, look at what you did wrong, and re-look at it again. This is one of the approach I used to run advertisement for the past 8 years. All right, see you and enjoy using the Meta Ad Manager.